Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Wow, that was great. Thank you. That's what I get in class every single day also at the beginning of class. So thank you for that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 2019 U.S. Conference on Teaching Statistics. So let me let you know what's coming up. We have about an hour of programming for the next hour, and then we're going to have a demonstration from an improv group. The Happy Valley Improv Group is going to give a demonstration for us this evening, and then we'll have dessert bar then also. So that's what we have to look forward to. So let me start by introducing myself. My name's Alan Rossman. I'm the program chair for USCOTS, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here and welcome you all. I'm also, in my day job, I'm the chair and professor in the Department of Statistics at Cal Poly in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. And I'm always happy to return to Pennsylvania. I lived the first 39 years of my life in Pennsylvania, so I'm always happy to return, and Penn State does such a great job of welcoming us and hosting this event. I lived, like I say, 39 years in Pennsylvania before I moved to California, and that was 18 years ago. And I guess I've sort of told you how old I am. But you'll notice the font is getting mighty small, so hopefully it's too small for you to read all of that at this point. Let me welcome some special people in particular, and let me ask you to please stand when I mention you or the group that you're in. We're going to start mostly with group membership welcomes. So I want to extend a special welcome to the first-time USCOTS participants. So please stand if you're a first-timer. I know we have lots of first-timers over here. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you'll find us to be a welcoming group, and I hope you'll learn something you can take back to your statistics classrooms and students from this experience. I also want to point out that if you don't have a sticker, there's a sticker that says First Time USCOTS Participant. If you didn't get a sticker when you registered, when you checked in, please go back to the registration desk tomorrow morning and get a sticker. Because everyone who's not a first-timer is instructed to be especially nice to the first-timers. If you don't have the sticker, people might not be nice to you. They might treat you like they treat people they know better. So please get a sticker. And there are special lunch tables tomorrow and Saturday for first-timers. You don't have to sit with the first-timers, but if you want to sit with other first-timers, we'll have some tables probably to my left over here at lunch tomorrow and Saturday. I also want to ask the 4 people I asked to be especially nice to first-timers to stand, and you know who you are: Andre, Camille, Laura, and Matt. So these are the folks who are Matt, stand up, Matt. So these are experienced USCOTS folks who agreed to sit with the first-timers and welcome them and give them some guidance and advice about navigating the program. I think Camille might still be on the highway. Apparently I-80 has a lot of traffic. Oh, she's here. Stand up, Camille. So Camille will also be helping out the first-timers, but she was stuck on I-80 for quite a while this afternoon. Maybe some of the rest of you were as well. Shifting gears, next group I'd like to ask to stand and be especially welcomed are people who have been to all 8 USCOTS. You know who you are if you've been to all 8. This is the 8th, yeah. If you've been to all of them, don't bother to count. Boy, some of you are going 2007. Where was I in May in 2007? But there are several people who have been to all 8, so you can look to them especially for advice about where to go and who to see and how to get the most out of the conference. Let me ask Dennis to stand. Dennis is the director of CAUSE. CAUSE is the organization that puts on this conference every other year and lots of other events as well. And Dennis has been the director since its inception quite a few years ago, at least 15 years ago, since the first USCOTS was 15 years ago. Is Deb here? Let me ask Deb Rumsey to stand, but I don't know that Deb has gotten here yet. Well, when you see Deb tomorrow, please introduce yourself if you don't know her, or say hello if you do know her. Deb was the original USCOTS program chair. She was program chair for the first 4 USCOTS. And by Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m., I will have tied her in being program chair for 4 USCOTSs. Let me ask Jack to stand. Jack Miller. Jack is the chair of the Posters and Beyond sessions, which are a huge, important part of USCOTS. And I think Jack's been in charge of Posters and Beyond since the very beginning, right? Which means 8 USCOTSs, as you all know now. Next group I'd like to ask to stand. Let me ask you to stand if you're a high school teacher. We've got some high school teachers here. I met some. So thanks very much for coming. We certainly respect and admire the work you do, and we hope that you'll find something worthwhile in our conference here. Let me ask 2-year college teachers to stand. Thanks very much to all of you also. I've got a slide that's particularly relevant to 2-year college teachers in a few slides coming up. Who else did I want to ask stand? If you teach in a department that has the word statistics in the department name, please stand and be recognized and welcomed. So lots of people, but certainly not everyone teaches in a statistics department. And some of you are going to get some good exercise here. If you teach in a department that has the word mathematics in it, please stand and be recognized. And let me remind you, it's a special welcome for everyone who stands, not just an ordinary run-of-the-mill bog standard welcome, but it's a special welcome for everyone who's standing. If your department affiliation has the words data science in the title, please stand. Welcome to all you folks, including the Carnegie Mellon team, my alma mater, by the way. If you teach in a department that doesn't have any of those words in the title, please stand and get a special welcome. So welcome to everyone, and thanks for being good sports with this silliness here. There's 1 or 2 more groups that I'd like to ask to stand and be recognized and be especially welcomed, starting with students. Students are people too. So thanks very much for coming. We have undergraduate students, graduate students, students of all kinds here, and we hope you'll find this to be a worthwhile experience. Let me ask statistics education researchers to stand and be acknowledged and welcomed. So thanks very much to all of you for coming as well. Lots of aerobics here. You weren't expecting all the aerobics. Dessert bar is coming later. Who's next? If you're one of the sponsors or exhibitors, please stand. And thank you all very much for coming and contributing so much to the success of the conference. I've kind of forgotten who else I have on here, to be honest, so at this point it's a surprise for me as well as for you. Penn State faculty and staff and students. We love coming to Penn State, I do anyway. So thanks very much for hosting us. Happy Valley really does appear to be just that, judging from the reception we get when we come here, so thank you very much. Penn State alums, we have some proud Penn State alums in the audience, I know. So thank you all for coming back to Happy Valley. The biggest of all these special welcomes, the biggest one is reserved for the next group, which is people who like cats. Stand if you like cats. Oh. That's pretty good, that's pretty good. I was hoping for better, but that's pretty good. Special welcome to the cat lovers. That's my cat Pootie. P-U-T-I is how you spell Pootie's name. That's my cat Pootie. And finally, I think this is the final one. I'd like to give a lukewarm welcome, frankly, if you're in the following group, which is people who are getting sick of this and want me to just move on to other things. So I'm not even gonna let you have time to stand. I saw one person in the back try to stand, but I think I know who that is. So here's the slide I mentioned a minute ago that I think is especially relevant to 2-year college teachers. I think the title here is correct. I think it's a wonderful time to be a teacher of statistics for lots and lots of reasons, one of which is more and more students are studying statistics than ever before. These are the numbers compiled by the CBMS survey, which is conducted every 5 years and which pertains only to the fall term. And these numbers are in hundreds of thousands. So you can see the dramatic increase from 2000 to 2015. If you look in mathematics departments at four-year colleges and universities, the number of students taking introductory statistics has almost doubled in that 15-year period. If you look at introductory statistics courses in statistics departments, it's almost doubled in that 15-year period. But look what's happening in two-year colleges. The number is almost quadrupled in a 15-year period. Students studying introductory statistics in two-year colleges. And if you add those up, you get more than 500,000 students a year studying introductory statistics. And remember, I just said per year, but I really should have said per fall term, because that's fall only. So as I say, look at the growth, especially among two-year colleges. And there's a very big group of students studying introductory statistics that's not represented there. Earlier today, more than 200,000 students took the AP statistics exam, and they're studying collegiate level introductory statistics as well. So well more than 1 million students a year are studying introductory statistics in the United States. And I think that's very exciting, and I think it's a wonderful time to be a statistics teacher. And it's part of why I'm so glad to see so many of you at this conference. What's next? Let me remind you of the theme of the conference, which is evaluating evidence. And that theme was inspired by recent activities of the American Statistical Association. Let me point out just 3 of those recent activities. It was 3 years ago now, in March of 2016, when the ASA issued a statement about p-values and statistical significance, essentially calling for caution in the use and interpretation of p-values in the term statistical significance. That was in response, in part, to several scientific journals deciding to abandon the use of p-values and statistical significance. A year and a half after that, the ASA put on a symposium about statistical inference that was held in Bethesda, Maryland. And then just earlier this year, just 6 weeks or so ago, a special issue of the American Statistician came out, which is devoted to the topic of statistical inference in the 21st century. That was less than 2 months ago. It's already had more than 80,000 views online. It's an online publication only. And 2 of our speakers tomorrow, Ron Wasserstein and Alan Sherm, are 2 of the 3 editors who compiled that journal and wrote the lead editorial for the journal. So you'll hear all about that from Ron and Alan tomorrow if you don't know about it now. And that's the theme of the entire conference, evaluating evidence. So what we have planned for this evening is what I think is a lot of fun, which is a series of 5-minute talks. And these 8 people have very generously and graciously agreed to give a 5-minute talk this evening. If you've never given a 5-minute talk, let me assure you it's a very, very, very daunting task. It's a lot of work to condense what you might have to say into 5 minutes, even for very capable people, very experienced presenters like I invited to do it this evening. It's a very daunting task. And so I'm very, very pleased that everyone accepted the invitation to do that. And these speakers are names listed there. We do have a tendency, especially for the newcomers, we have a tendency at USCOTS, I say we, by we in this case, I mean I have a tendency at USCOTS to order things alphabetically by first name. You might have noticed at the beginning that my name is Alan, and most people don't order things by first name, and I sort of always thought that was a missed opportunity. So when I became the USCOTS program chair, we do things alphabetically by first name, at least anything that I'm in charge of structuring the ordering for. That's how we do it. So let me introduce the speakers now so we can go very quickly when it's their turn. Beth Chance will be the first speaker from the same department as me, the statistics department at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. Next will be Danny Kaplan from Macalester College, followed by Holly Lynn Stoll-Lee from North Carolina State, followed by Ido Gall from the University of Haifa, followed by Jessica Utz from UC Irvine, followed by Larry Lesser from University of Texas, El Paso, and then Michael Posner from Villanova University, and finally, but certainly not least, William Finzer from Concord Consortium. I could have called him Bill. I usually call him Bill when I see him face to face, but I thought Bill might enjoy being the cleanup hitter at the end of the lineup tonight. So for my purposes, he's going by William this evening. And if I remember what the next slide is, the next slide is just there to tell me to stop at this point and not keep going forward, and instead to transition to these 5-minute presentations. So if you'll give me a moment to organize things here.